I'm going to change the oil. This is the plug that I'm going to remove with 3/8 ratchet. When you buy oil filter, make sure you buy a fuel filter and replace them at the same time. Always do it in that way and you'll never forget. Snap on that. It's like putting down a large piece of cardboard, and I have it, the one end flapped up to kind of block the wind. Doesn't block it all the way, but it helps shield it so that the oil doesn't splatter all over the place. Here I'm just removing the plug. It's going to fly out and the oil's going to start coming out. I should be wearing latex gloves. So now I'm reinstalling the plug, installing it by hand first, and then tighten it with the 3/8 ratchet. So it's right up there. That's what I got to replace. I didn't get a good camera angle here because I didn't want to get any oil on the camera. If I put the GoPro case on it, then it wouldn't have mattered. But removing it, I had to loosen it with the tool. Now you can see that there's oil on the side of this filter. That means I didn't have it tight enough. So you need to make sure that you tighten it. Otherwise you're going to have oil leaking out all over. Purelator PL45335. Prime it with a little oil. Take the oil and rub it on the ring. Put the lid on the oil in case I knock it over. So our next step is to change the fuel filter. So I'm going to flip this. So the GoPro wasn't really capturing this because there's too much bright parts around, but that is the fuel filter directly below that wiring harness. That lid is what I have to remove. So there's a big old 1 inch plastic nut on there, so I got an adjustable wrench that I'm using to work that off. You have to make sure that adjustable wrench is mated perfectly to it so you don't round it off. If you round it off, you're going to have a hell of a time trying to get this lid off. The lid comes with an O-ring, so you have to make sure you get the O-ring with it. Chances are the O-ring will not fall behind because it's really on the lid tight. So once you remove the lid, the filter will come with it and the O-ring. You'll see in a moment after I remove it. So you don't have to be too careful when you're removing the old one. When you're installing the new one, you want to make sure that you don't touch anything. You really want to have clean gloves, because any dirt on this, you don't want to end up in your fuel lines, because that can end up clogging the injectors, and then you have what you saved money replacing the filter will cost you 100 times that in replacing injectors. Alright, so we got a new filter and a new O-ring.
14 in the earth. Alright, so we got our new O-ring. Take off our old O-ring. So the old O-ring is the one I replaced in the last video. So we'll take him off. Put the new one on. The old one gets thrown away, old filter gets thrown away. Okay, so we got the new filter installed in the cap. Alright, so you really don't want to touch it with dirty gloves like I did. You don't want to get any particles in there, in the fuel. Okay, next we just make sure that the O-ring is set. And then we'll install the filter. Come on. Dude, I didn't get any drips except that last one.